In 2020, there were 2 Chinese companies in the top 10 biggest companies in the world. But in 2021, there are 0. How did that happen? In fact, China is killing its own companies. But why? Let's find out. So hey folks, this is Nishant. Here we talk about businesses, products, content creation and a bunch of other things. So if you are interested in any of these and if at any point you feel like subscribing, don't stop yourself, alright? Let's get straight into the video. In last 2 years, China lost $1.5 trillion from their economy due to its own decisions. Things are not looking good for China, but they are doing it themselves. They are ruining themselves. But why would someone do that? Here's why. Number one, they are a socialist economy. They don't want anybody to hold such a huge power comparable to the government. For example, any businessman, influencer or public figure can't have a huge following. They don't want anybody to be very famous worldwide because hey, it can be a threat to China. At least that's what they think. So whenever an individual or an organization, that is a business, gets a lot of traction from the world, they straight away put restrictions on such entity. Is that good? If our country does this, what will happen? Number two, too much money too quick is not good, but it's a danger according to China. They consider everything as a bubble. After the pandemic, global financial markets flourished. They gave almost 2 times returns to their investors and China was afraid of this. So they took things in their own hands and restricted Chinese companies from going worldwide. For example, there's a company called DD Technologies from China. It is basically China's Uber. As a matter of fact, when Uber entered China, DD Technologies acquired Uber China and took it into themselves. So this company, DD Technologies, got listed in the US stock market on the New York Stock Exchange. Investors from the US were liking it because there was no direct competition with Uber and now DD Technologies were entering into the market. But here's what happened. China thought that DD Technologies is growing way too fast globally. So they started putting a lot of restrictions on this company and restricted their business model from working in China and globally. First thing they did was they banned the DD Technologies app from their app store. China is concerned about data. If there's any sharing of data outside of China, they don't like it. If there's any sharing of data outside of China, they will trash the companies no matter how big they are. Hence, in the top 10 there were 2 Chinese companies and in 2021 there are 0. Alibaba Group, one of the biggest business groups of China, lost $400 billion of value in 2021 alone. $400 billion is equal to the total market capitalization of India's biggest 20 companies, leaving Reliance, Infosys and TCS. That much amount was lost in Alibaba Group. And we all know about the incident where Jack Ma went missing. He just said that the banks from China should work in the interest of people and should function better. And he went missing. By listening to that news, Alibaba Group was trashed down to $400 billion loss in its market capitalization. Next, China is threatened by the misuse of tech. For example, every now and then, there's a news of Bitcoin being banned in China. Why are they doing that? Let me explain. For that, you should know how Bitcoin works, right? To put it in a nutshell, Bitcoin does not have any single central power that's controlling the regulation of it. It is completely based on a technology known as blockchain. Bitcoin is completely decentralized, that is, no single server has your data. Your data is publicly distributed on millions of computers on a network which we call as decentralized network, meaning no single entity can control this network. But here's what's wrong. China always wants power. It wants to control everything. So if there's something that is taking power from the hands of China, they completely ban it. They want a closed ecosystem, closing doors from international companies. Historically, that has been the case of China and they are continuing their philosophy. That is the reason why there's no Google in China. That is the reason why there's no Netflix in China. That is the reason why there's no Amazon in China. That is the reason why there's no Facebook, Meta in China. And the list goes on and on and on. By restricting their own companies and not letting international companies do business with China, they are enjoying power to themselves. The next reason what I feel is China is just afraid. They want to control everything because now they know that people are wise and tech has now gotten more and more mature. It can simply uncover the faults of the government and obviously they want to avoid that. I feel China is just afraid. It's like building a shell around yourself and not let anybody in because inside it's really fragile. They know that even a small spark can turn into a fire. It's obvious that not a lot of people agree with the government, but they can't raise their voices because there's one single party ruling China. And if somebody like a big businessman, an influencer, or a public figure gets famous worldwide and started to raise their voice to prove their point, it will have a ripple effect on all of the citizens of China, and everybody will raise their voice against the Chinese government. China wants to control their power. Their philosophy is no matter how much money you make, no matter trillions of dollars are made, we can make another trillion of dollars with another company, but if we lose power, we will lose it forever. So no matter how big a company is, if you go against Chinese restrictions, you are about to get trashed. Tencent, the famous owner of PUBG, experienced this. It was the top 4th company in the world by market cap and is now nowhere in the top 10. Alibaba Group experienced it and lost $400 billion. DD Technologies was flourishing so high globally that China had to restrict them into Chinese market itself. And there are a lot of businesses that are suffering from this. All of this because Chinese government does not want to lose their power. They can lose power by the advancements in tech, and they are restricting tech itself. So these were the reasons why China is cracking down on its own businesses and trashing them all around the world. $1.5 trillion is not a joke. All of that for power is not a joke. Anyways, that's the case with China. What do you think will happen if India does this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, hope you liked the video. If you did, we are chasing a target of 200 subscribers, so share it with your friends on your groups and stuff. We are also building a Discord community where there are a lot of productive people and a fun environment. For more of such cool stuff, social media handles are also in the description. Come and say hi. If you like this video, there are other amazing videos on this channel, so check them out. So that was it for this video, and I'll see you guys on the other side.